Alright, hopefully we're up on YouTube. Let's see if this is working. Yep, golden. We'll run with the chat today and hope for the best. I just hope it's relaying to our website. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to check on that later. Alright, so let's see if we can figure out where SPY can go from here. Well, we're going almost to the bottom of the short-term liquidity zone. That's this purple area here. And once we shake out a range, we'll be able to figure out where the supplies and demands are, and we can make a couple day trades. I'm not expecting a trend day today, but it could end up happening anyway. Just kind of digesting all of last week today, I think, and we'll see where we go. Meantime, as soon as I have an opening range, I can probably build a set of fans and we'll figure out some price action for some one-to-ones for the futures traders. And let's see if I can get the map up on that too. There we go. So far we're looking like we might hold support here. There's some liquidity here, and the target would be about 41.54. If we bounce here with a spinner, there we go. What we get is a quick 3-bar, or a morning star, as it's more commonly known. And got an evening star print on AMD there, right back to that $90 support area. Oh wow. Maybe it'll make some options income here on Mullen. Whoa. Nope. We find the next liquidity zone looking for 41.48, and that's right at the bottom of our demand, or our liquidity box on SPY here. Anybody else got any good stories for the weekend, or just kind of... No. It's all quiet in here. Ordinarily we'd have a ordinarily we'd have a big old conversation about stuff here while we wait for price action. Not even a yeah. It was wait, Cliff. There we go. I had the desktop audio off on the YouTube broadcast. There we go. Yeah, Airbnb is going to be an interesting one. Let's get that on here. AMD is pulling back nicely. I'll leave Apple alone for a minute, but...
Nicole, you don't want to give us a robot feedback?
Something.
Like boop boop.
Yeah, that thing's volatile and nasty. I don't really trade Airbnb much. Looks like fun though.
Jeremy, you think we're gonna get this trading view stuff soon, or should I just go back to TOS?
I'm pretty sure we should have something going by this week.
Alright.
So they were pretty happy to talk to us. And then there's like kind of a conglomeration happening with the folks over at Money.net as well.
Oh, what's going on?
Um, they they cater more to institutional traders and investors, and they're kind of bridging the gap by building a communication between institutional traders and retail traders. So kind of cool to be able to communicate with those guys, and in the long run, you kind of get a lot of good things that can happen when the two can collaborate.
Right.
Man, volatility is just low.
Yeah, you see this with slow action too.
Yeah, this is interesting because we're consolidating right in this zone. Either we'll make a big old bullish 1-for-1, or we'll stay steady in this zone until we get some news. I wonder if there's anything coming out today. I'll have to check the old calendar there. But I mean, the pain zone's right out to 418, and what's the put side looking like?
Yeah, I got us in a supply on ES Spy or whatever, but we were like breaking into it, trading into it, so I don't think we have that many sell orders really sitting between 4150 and 4160 right now. We do have more of that supply going up towards about 4168, so there should be some more sellers sitting up there. But in Q also looking weak, but it broke its supply yesterday, so Friday, so we'll see. I think I want us to chop lower because we got news Wednesday, and I have some really strong 4-hour demands
Right.
on ES, like further down, about 4100, 4092 even. But who knows? Maybe the news will bring us all the way down to 4092. You know?
Yeah. The zone's like $11 wide, so we've got 418 is the upper reach for call side, and then 407 on the put side. So probably expect consolidation today, I think.
Nicole, you're in Australia. That's cool. Oh man, you're up. What? So you're up late then? No? What is it? A 12-hour difference? I don't even know.
Depends on what part of Australia you're in. There's a vast difference between Eastern Australia and Western Australia time zones.
Jeremy, I pulled up like four separate charts for what's it called? For TradingView,
Mm-hmm.
and they all have ads, so I'm keep getting random ads pop up all over my screen.
Oh no.
Oh, 11:40 p.m. Oh, that's still pretty late. How long do you usually stay up till to trade? We reject your.
I think we're gonna go up a little bit here.
I know, I can't tell exactly. The 30-minute, it's really nice. I want to start like letting the 30-minute close and taking the next 30-minute candles for like
Right.
moves. 'Cause I mean, a 30-minute close is better than a 5-minute close.
Yeah, I like to let the opening range shake out a little bit before we get too involved, but now we're starting to
Yup.
see we got one line. And
Reje-
I gotta figure out what to call these. I mean, JFan sounds kind of nifty, but I don't want to be conceited.
Bro, screw. Call them J fans. They are J fans.
Just they're a combination of GANFan and I don't know.
You know what? VIX is trying to push lower. VIX is trying to push lower here.
I think we might break down from here.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool, Nicole.
Oh, we're back into regression. Let's see what happens one more time with this division here.
Nicole, what broker do you trade with?
This is one of those rounding tops that looks bearish until it isn't. So we're going to mark out the critical support on this thing real quick. It's right here, and let this candle close.
Did you see the poll Jasper made?
Mm-mm.
Casper, I just called him Jasper.
Oh. To see if we make polls work.
Yeah, right. Schwab? Oh, that's cool, Nicole. So, no TOS here, went in full. Schwab.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Schwab bought TOS. How much time we got left in this 30 minute? Oh, 17 minutes.
3, 2, 1. Hammer. So when you see this rounding over like this, be suspicious because these will look bearish, like it's going to break over as a top pattern, like some people will call it an M top, double top, whatever. It's a 1 minute chart. Give it some time. But the idea is you go look at the 5 minute chart and like, oh, okay, half this candle. There's your retracement target. So if we hold here, this little rounding top becomes a bullish pattern where you get a measured move, bullish 1-for-1 off of this bar. So you can get a bar up. About 412.90 would be the breakout. Sometimes these will fail and break down, but I like to let them shake on the key support line a few times before I decide what to do with it. This is another one of those, let's wait for the signal before we go and take a position here.
Hey, Jeremy, Cliff's wondering what platform you're using.
This is Webull for now, but I'll be switching to TradingView as soon as we're up and running.
Cliff, what software, what platform do you use?
So I like Webull because it's free and it is just has been up until recently great for drawing on. So
Nice. Alright, better go lower.
got a subline right here.
TOS, nice. Cliff can't go wrong with TOS.
All right.
Maybe if we could get a pullback to VWAP.
Right? I just like how easy it is to grab drawings and throw them on here. All right, right back to the bottom of that little liquidity zone here. Let's test it. We got about 8 seconds left in this candle.
Yeah, we just like literally ticked out of supply for like 2 ticks and then just rejected right back up. Same thing we did these past 3 5-minute candles. But I don't know, third time's a charm. We gonna plow right through it or what?
Whoop, there we go. Finally, there's a reach. All right, so the roundy broke support, ran over. We're hanging in support here on the base of this liquidity zone. Crazy how I identify these and they just play out so well. You know, go look at the 2-hour charts based off of this wick right here. That's it. And looking at the 2-hour, this does look a little bit like a double top. So, you know, also looks like it could be a bullish 1-for-1 and we can go all the way outside the diamond right up to key resistance up here. So it can happen. Kind of interesting because if it does get loose.
Oh, sorry. Cliff, are you paper trading options or futures?
I keep losing my mic. I don't know what's going on with that. But I am right now looking at options, but I haven't set on a strategy yet.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's cool. Options
Options,
are definitely difficult to trade, especially because of the volatility that comes with them and all the Greeks.
they are, but then
But it doesn't
again,
mean they're not beneficial.
yeah, I've been doing great with options, man.
Yeah, listen, it's really there's a reason they're there, you know. People are obviously making money off them, or there would just be no talk about them.
Well, the conversion strategy I always speak of is actually called a swap strategy, where you swap one strategy for another, or you can go and run long into one position and then convert it to any position you want. And yes, the leverage that you get from it is incredible. And although it does have a variable multiplier, it's not like futures, you can make some pretty incredible returns on them without really doing much, just paying attention to price action. And as volatility shifts, man, you can really take advantage of options.
Yeah, that's true. You could like great percent returns on options.
All right, we broke the liquidity zone. We're headed down now. How far? Well,
I got a 30-minute demand right in here, and we broke it.
yep, we just smashed it as fast as you could say it.
Yup.
Essentially, it was the bottom of the gap from the pre-market here.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of right in a support zone here, and there's the 5-minute 200 right here as well. So anything can happen right here. Hammer time. Tweezer
Right, yo,
bottom.
imagine this was just to catch the shorts. I mean, it's still not 10 yet. Still
Right?
could get that 10 o'clock reversal.
Yes, sirree. All right, here we go. Now we're going to start setting up some one-for-ones.
I take it back, that wasn't a 30-minute, it was a 1 hour. We didn't break it.
5-second 8 crossing the 20. We're accumulating here just under angular resistance, and I'm thinking we get a one-for-one right up to just under this guy. We'll make a new division here. Adjust that down. There we go. Let's see, where does that take our futures target? We're looking at one for one would be 41.50.
I want to say bless you, but I think that was a throat clear.
Yeah, I do that a lot, especially around allergy season. It's just nuts.
Oh, dude, it's so bad this year. So bad.
Yeah.
Jeremy, where are you from again?
Originally Southern California. Lived in Montana for about 10 years, and then lived in the suburbs of Richmond over here for 3.5 years.
Oh, wow, that's cool. So wait, where are you now?
The suburbs of Richmond, Virginia.
Got you, that's cool.
Yeah, love it here. Nope, we're not going to break out and return to that trend. We're running down, but watch what happens if this becomes a double bottom. Let me borrow this. There's your key support. Let's get a double bottom here, or we're going to resume. 41.43 is the Globex low. AB&B just printed a beautiful Busby. Let's see if it gives us a quick 3-bar. Apple returning to Earth. And we're slapping this. We might get a bearish one for one, which takes us to the bottom of the liquidity zone. 410.90.
No, my bad, my bad. What a nosedive.
Yes, sir.
Damn.
Selling off. We're looking like we're going to retrace most of Friday's action is what it is. Well, this upper half of it anyway. Which is good because we need a healthy pullback. There we go. Give us a tweezer.
Were you gonna go long off this?
Not yet. I want to wait for the signal. We got 12 seconds left on this candle. If we see a nice tweezer print here, look for accumulation along the support
Oh,
line.
NQ just took a rip.
There we go. Bullish 1 for 1. Right on the old. You want me to start calling them J fans?
I think you're fine calling them J fans. You didn't come up with it.
I know someone's been here before, so, you know.
Never, just you.
It's just kind of weird how you can get that combination where you can pick these 1 for 1s out every time you see them. There you go. One done. 41.48. Bam. Target met. It ain't easy being Tweezy. Sorry.
Oh, Jeremy.
I miss those Chester Cheetah cartoon ads I used to have for Cheetos.
Ooh, NQ ripping way harder lower than ES at the moment.
Bam. I think we test support here. That's 50% retracement on the 1 second chart for the old futures here. Right to 41.45.50 and bounce.
I think we get a bounce soon. I don't know. Gotta see what VIX wants to do.
And we'll either get
VIX
it.
has been.
We'll either get a trend out of this to the bottom of that liquidity zone and then a bounce, or we will get a reversal here and come up back through the liquidity zone. Apple's setting up for support here, but it's also in a rising channel, so
Oh, I don't have my equities.
be aware. And Apple pulls 7% of the S&P, so if it breaks here, look for retracement back to about 172.55 for Apple. There it goes.
50 seconds left in this 5 minute. NQ selling off harder.
And I'm watching AMD for a good setup too, so.
Ooh, NQ dip. Go ahead, NQ. Pull the market
And
down.
we're breaking support. This becomes our regression line here.
NQ selling hard. Yes, time to follow again. Damn, ES trying to bounce, then Q selling hard like this?
Dude,
Good.
watch this. If we get a little head and shoulders here, we could reverse here.
Bro, it's a good watch this.
Watch this. Hold my beer.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
There we go. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder on the 5 second chart. Right, live and direct.
You said right shoulder, so we're gonna go lower?
No, look. We got left
Alright, I'm
shoulder,
not watching your stream right now, my bad.
head, right shoulder. Right on the 5 second chart. And then we got tweezer here, tweezer here. I think we're coming back.
Yeah.
Here's tag one trend. Let's see if we break out here and go for 1 for 1. That would take us right back to 41.49 on the ES. Might even blast through to 41.50 if it holds. This is the setup. Wait for the break.
Yep.
Come on now, little fella. There we go.
Yeah.
Now we're starting. My 1 second chart keeps popping, fading out to black. Trade of 8 for you. Come on, finish the move. Keep an eye on this 8 period, because if this trend wants to break over that 8 period, it'll pull back really quickly. It's the old, not sure if you want to go long yet, but that is a clean looking reversal so far. All it's got to do is break resistance, and that's right across the top of these guys. Or we could just go like so. Just remember, there's liquidity here, so there may be sellers waiting to sell this. And if this becomes a consolidation point, we get a bearish measured move, takes us right down to 410.90. Well, that would take us down to 41.38 on the ES. So, actually, no.
I got 41.35 key level. That'd be my target for shorts right now, about 10 points away.
Let's see here. Hold on. 41.55 to 41.45. So, yeah, 10 points. You're right.
VIX is going higher. I like that.
41.
VIX futures is popping higher, which is great.
41.35 would be the bearish measured move. You are correct. I'm zoomed way
Is
in on a
it?
1 second
Wait,
chart.
is it really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's just where my key level lines up. That's great. I love when that
Yeah.
happens.
Well, you've got the previous high wave on this part of the move comes up to 41.55. We're accumulating around 41.45 right now. So yeah, a 10-point move down. Now it can hold here and break out a bullish 1-for-1. We've got the the head and shoulders, but now it's turning into a wedge. And if this wedge is to be a bear flag, we'll get a quick pop right back to resistance around 412.25 and then a dive. A reversal is only a reversal until it fails. So that's why we never want to get chopped up in the setup unless we're scalping futures in this. We can certainly do that, but we would rather wait for the break if we're going to trade options on SPY. If that gives us a bearish measured move, yeah, it's pretty clean. Right down to about 410.90.
And dump. Dump.
Sadly, it's going to take a while for the pain zone on SPY to work out.
Yeah.
If it makes it to like $6 wide today, and we get a setup for retracing a trend, or we get a setup for a continuation on a trend, that's where you can, and this is particularly important if you're trading an account that's subject to PDT rules. You can go and open a strangle when the call side and the put side pain zone are around $6 to $8 wide. And when I say pain zone, I'm looking for strikes. I'm looking at their premium price. So like 0 days, you're looking for somewhere between $6 and $8 wide between call and put side, from anywhere around 2 cents to 4 cents in premium for those two legs. And the idea is, if you get right at the edge of the pain zone and price comes right back to one or the other, where one of those legs becomes at or slightly in the money towards the end of the day, instead of closing those positions, you literally just sell the strike, the next strike away from it. So like if you were long, you would go and buy, what would it be? And this is the wrong time of day to do this. I usually like to do this towards the afternoon, when implied volatility crush is basically completed. But if you catch a trend early enough, just kind of as an example, it would be a 417 call right now. And the idea would be, if you spent 4 cents for that and the 418 call traded up to like 8 cents, you've made a 100% return by selling that call against it. You've locked that in. You cannot lose that. And what it gives you is, if price continues to trend through that area into the end of the day, and you end up with a set of options that expire in the money, no doubt your broker will assign you on the 418 call, but you'll have to exercise the 417 call to cover the difference. So you get the width of the spread if that happens, plus the percentage or profit that you locked into it. So you get paid 4 cents per contract, plus you get the width of the spread in that scenario. So it's kind of badass. And you do it all without day trading.
Checking out the 15-minute right now. Looks like it's getting weak for a basing candle before follow through for the second leg down.
Oh, yeah, we do have auctions at 10 and 11:30. There it is. So I gotta go get logged into my calendar over here.
I just got the long on that one.
Nice
Got
work.
2 points. Thank you.
Setting up a 1-for-1 here. No. Let's start that route there. Whoop, nope. That route's gonna be there.
Thinking of entering a short around here.
1,
see.
1. Just remember, there's a liquidity zone here. There's likely to be sellers here.
Yep.
Here they come. Let's see here. The put side currently is at about 406. 406, 405, somewhere in there. That's way too wide to be messing with. That's like $12 wide. Definitely outside the pain zone for the afternoon, so I wouldn't mess with that. The one thing about liquidity zones is that if your price starts to go into it, they usually will complete the move, at least half of it, and then oftentimes will complete the move to the end of it. So
Right.
if we start to trend here, we can kind of divide this. Actually, let's go to 413.15 is about the middle of that zone. If you wanted to, you could put quarters in there too. So let's say about 412.80.
Re-entering shorts here.
And then there's another division
Tight
here around
spot.
413.50. So you can split this
Crazy.
zone. You can trade. If this gives you accumulation, you get a bullish measured move. Takes you up to this guy, 413 or 412.80. So you get a 1-for-1 there inside of liquidity. This is a very risky entry, but if you assume that it makes that trend, this is where you're going to look to go and buy high, sell higher for another 1-to-1 to 413.15, or you run to 413.50. And if it continues to run to the top of that zone, well, you've got 413.90.
Right.
It's got to consume all the sellers that are in here. This is where all the limit orders are going to be.
Right. True. It's got to stop people out before it continues.
Exactly. So right now we're a little bullish. We've got a hammer right here, just inside that liquidity zone. What's the 5-minute telling us? Well, we can get
5 minutes pull.
yeah, bullish. We're at least going to
Yeah.
resume to the 412.80 pivot here. And then looking at the 15, we could easily print a tweezer bottom here right at the bottom edge of that zone and start working our way back up. So it's not over yet for the bulls, but they're being threatened here, so.
Yeah. Also watching the 15-minute. I really want to see an upper wick on this 15-minute, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be getting that.
Probably not.
Damn, NQ. Stop pulling aside.
Oh, we've accumulated a while here. Watch this 8 period here.
There we go.
Trend is your friend
and
till it
big
ends.
rejection.
That 8 period is clean for identifying short-term reversals. What do we have here? We've made a 1-for-1 up to a regression line, or a subdivision line if you want to call it that. Am I out of lines? There we go.
Yay. Not yet, you're out of lines.
Yeah, I am. I just went to mess with it and it disappeared, so
No,
I don't know where it went. It's in the
it
ether
went
somewhere.
home. VIX is pushing lower. What? Stop that, VIX.
See, Apple broke that rising channel, went and
Oh,
wicked,
what's Apple doing right now?
wicked exactly to a 50% retracement of that 3-leg channel, and now we're
Is
trending
it
out. It's bullish.
Apple's bullish right now? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Not what I wanted to hear, but that's what I wanted to know.
AMD kind of getting the same effect, but it's a little bit more holding the pullback correct, or correction pullback.
Check out the 15 on ES. That's the candle I was looking for with that big wick on the top.
Oh yeah,
Now we would need to close like that and have the next 15 minute or the next 15 minutes continue lower, and that will be our second leg lower.
right.
Oh, hey, oh
Come the
shit.
Bears.
Damn,
Bears into his house.
for real.
I said, when you're watching that 8 period on a 1-minute chart, man, know exactly where your revision is. Here's your spinner. Boop. 1-for-1, straight through it, right to the 20.
Damn, I should have scalped into the strength, but you know what? Again, I want that 15 to close with the big wick on top. The continuation's not on this 15. I want the continuation on the next 15.
This is still technically opening range till about 10:30, and we'll decide a trend, accumulation, or a range day by about 10:30 typically. Bears are always much faster than bulls. Fear will always sell
Yeah.
faster than greed could ever buy. Just kind of
Facts.
take that down as a mental note or put that in your journal. That
That
isn't.
sounds like an insult. Put that in your journal.
It's a very important statement to remember, though, is that, greed can only buy about half as fast as bears can sell, or as fear can sell.
Imagine we just ripped to 41.35.
That'd be cool. I could live with that.
That would be cool, Jeremy. That'd be really, really, really cool, to be honest. Oh,
Not happening yet. This looks like the old pop and drop bear flag. I'm thinking we're likely to continue this bearish measured move. There's your key support level right here. We're at it. Test that line. We're going here. That's easy.
wait, did I just exit that trade? Oh, hey, I did. And we're green on the account. Let's go.
Nice.
Up 250 today. I'll take it.
I've decided I'll do the prop fund thing one more time, but I'm going to wait till they have another sale. I'm not going to reset that thing. They charge too much for resets.
How much are resets?
I'm going to be a cheap bastard.
How much are resets?
Let's see. It would be to reset it and continue with the time from day one. It would be like $41 for an account that I purchased for 20. So I'm like,
Oh, yeah, what you mean? But again, we gotta. My biggest thing about these funded accounts is that one, if you are a good trader, you'll be able to pass and get funded no problem, right?
sure.
Two, if you aren't a good trader and you just want to try this practice paper accounts, you want to practice anything, I suggest these eval accounts. Because
Yep.
listen, it's not paper money, you'll still lose some money because you got to buy the eval accounts and stuff.
Of course.
But once you do cross over and become that profitable, that profitable trader, you're still already trading the eval. You're not trading your own money. You
Right.
can take those profits. Your risk is really just that minimum payment of whatever, however much it was to buy the account.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just being the cheap bastard that I am. I don't want to move a bunch of money around, but I'm thinking about just funding my own damn account and going with like either Optimus or TradeStation.
Damn, what a move down.
Because that trailing stop, like I made a mistake. You know, I left a couple of ES contracts open that I hadn't even thought about because they were originally going to be trailing stops. I switched products to try and go and scale for the expected volatility into the MES instead, and I accidentally left those two trailing stops open, having closed my position. That was a dumb move. Ordinarily, if that happened to my own account, I'd be able to recover because I don't have to worry about the drawdown on that because I know I can make it back just by sticking to my plan and trading my the way I know I trade those bullish one for ones or bearish one for ones over and over and over again, little base hits. But having that trailing drawdown kind of sucks because it just completely eliminates my chance to recover from a mistake like that. One, I
Yo,
shouldn't make the mistake like that, but if it happens, you're kind of screwed and kind of pisses you off a little bit. But the way I see it is like if they're going to charge a reset fee that high to go and continue for the 30-day eval account or the 20 days that you get to actually trade it, I might as well just wait till the end of the month and just start a new one, start a new eval.
hey, check out the divergence we have on ES and NQ right now. If you're looking at the 5-minute chart, NQ just created a higher low, while ES just tried to create a lower low. That's divergence, plus we're in a 1-hour demand on ES. We could see a potential little pop here.
Yeah, we could.
I'm not getting anything. I sort of want to grab along just to test that, but I don't want to lose my profits for the day. You know what I'm saying?
You'll get a quick one for one out of this. That's no problem.
Yo,
That'll
I'll tell
take
you what
us.
though. This 15-minute, you remember I was looking at this 15-minute for a basing to go lower? If this 15, oh, there we go, never mind, it's selling off. I was gonna say, if this 15 is a red basing in demand, then we could pop, you know? But,
Right.
that's the power of these basing candles is you go inverse to whichever direction it's setting up for.
Makes sense.
Because that's what creates the supply and demand zones. Because the reason it's the opposite color is because it was just trapping retail or buyers or sellers or whoever it was in that opposite direction, while institutions were filling up, filling up, filling up, and that's what caused the massive move to the other side, and that liquidity to become in that demand or supply zone because those orders are unfilled,
Right.
and plenty of stops are there now.
Makes sense. I'm gonna wait for this 1 minute to play out. Either we get a tweezer top here and we get a break of support and run for the bottom of that channel or bottom of the liquidity zone, or we hold here and rip the other way.
Yeah, is this 15 closed? No, I think we're going lower. A lot of selling volume. Might get a relief pop. I don't know.
A bit, but look at the trend line on Apple.
I don't have Apple charts up, Jeremy. Stop making fun of me.
Get your Apple on, man. The
But I
thing,
didn't chart supply and demand yet.
the
Oh yeah,
thing,
look at Apple.
the thing about the S&P is it's tech heavy. Well, look at a couple of techs, Apple and AMD over here.
Yeah, but QQQ's heavier tech though.
It
A
is.
lot of selling, a lot of selling. Alright, might enter another short here, to be honest. I don't know. I can't enter here. I had a
I'm
good
just waiting.
entry before. Bro, I got in short 2 contracts at 41, 49.25. That was crazy clean of an entry. Because it was right by my supply zone. I guess I'll post a review for that one.
Well, let's see. What's a May 12 debit spread looking like?
Going lower.
Let's see, zone on that is going to be...
Come on, bounce again. You know, it'd be dope if we got like a 30-minute basing candle and rallied for like the rest of the day. That would be great. Like, the selling was just like institutions building up their orders, tricking out retail to thinking we're selling off. And then we just like pop and explode.
Could be. I mean, we're about to touch the 30-minute 200 period right at 411.50.
But banks have been weak.
Yeah,
This and that in the third, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
Ethan,
Yakety
my
yak.
thoughts exactly, man. My thoughts exactly. There's always reasons to take the trade. There's always reasons not to take the trade. Just gotta weigh your pros, cons, and your confirmations.
I might be swinging options this week. Seems to be the thing to do. We haven't quite met the angular resistance of this diamond pattern yet, though, so we got a good chance of rallying off a base here somewhere. That ominous M-top here, though, has already breached its critical support, and it's retracing Friday's mother bar. So watch the open of that bar. It's about 411.40. Let me see what's
Is
it
there
say.
an arrow tool on what's it called?
See, if you look here, I got open, high, low, and close on candles right here, this information here. If I hover over that one, the low of that candle is 411.47. So if we hold support at the base of that candle, we'll likely retrace a 1-for-1, and 1-for-1 from this candle takes us right to angular resistance on our diamond pattern, about 415.50. Oh, look at AMD. Strong. Apple holding the line, but looking a little weak here. Let's see where we go. Kind of holding the base of that bear flag. Oh, snap. We're getting a double bottom here. Look at the 5-minute.
Nice, nice. I see that. That's dope. As I told you, divergence, bro. I love
Yep.
divergence. That'll point something out that you don't see on the chart sometimes.
There
Even
we
though it is on
go.
the chart.
Ripping 41.48, 1-for-1 target on the ES. We just snapped above resistance, so we're looking for a clean 1-for-1 there. We're right here, 412.20. Watch for 1-for-1 to take SPY to 412.50. And it's 1-for-1 across from this range to this range. This is your regression line. Damn it. I hate how it does this sometimes. Like if I don't click over here, it won't change the color, right? What the hell? Drawing tool gets nuts on this. Another reason I can't wait to change to trading views so I can get away from this. My theory seems to hold true though, because the more I delete lines on other charts, the more it lets me draw them on the 5-second chart. I think I hit the peak of the cache for their server.
For their whole entire network. Nobody else could mark anything now, Jeremy. You took up all the what is it, cache, right?
The entire cache of the server for him. Yeah, it's like, this man draw too many lines.
It's no longer Weeble, it's now We Jeremy.
There it is, yeah. Nonetheless, this is your regression line. Watch for a support test. Hold that 8 period. We can say whack it for a 1-for-1. However, it's looking a little like a double top as well, but looks can be deceiving. This is accumulation. Oh, 1-minute bar spinner. Bar would be cool too. That would take us right to the bottom of that liquidity zone. Come on, baby. Hold the line.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey,
Morning,
good morning,
guys.
Ricardo. Hey, everybody's here now.
Oh, thanks for that, Kegan. Hope you had a nice weekend, but thank you for pointing me onto that tutorial. It was good.
Sure, sure. You watched that video? It's good, right?
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah, he's really, really great. No problem. You know what it is? We really have to, as traders, try to simplify trading. A lot of times we make it too hard on ourselves and it gets too confusing. But
Keep
don't
it
know.
simple.
Exactly. I'm about to post a trade review in the journaling channel in case anybody was interested in what I look for confirmation wise, how I enter, blah blah blah.
I'll post my trades for the day. I've made my 60 quid, $60. So yeah, I'll try and post that now.
There you
Cool
go.
beans, thank you.
Thank you.
I might make it a point to journal some of my options trades.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
that'd be awesome.
sometimes I have so many of them going though. Currently, I'm starting this week with just a few though, so I'm not too bad off.
Could you sort of put your thinking in behind them as well? And is that going to be complicated?
Yeah, I can post a chart with them or something. 'Cause that'll give me pretty clear price targets. Man, Tradeovate keeps glitching in and out on me on the 1 second chart. It dropped my volume profile off. The screen keeps going black. Something happening.
I had to sign up for yet another new paper trading account today. I only had the last about 2 working days, so they're shortening the time that you've got the paper trading accounts.
Limited time for paper trading?
Yeah, normally it's 2 weeks, but the last one I had was only for days, so maybe they've just out.
Oh,
I'm overused.
that might be.
I need to fund the account, but because I'm in the UK, trying to get everything into dollars is a real pain in the butt. So I will do it, and I'm getting onto it. It's a nightmare.
Right. All right, SPY, what you got? We're accumulated to the end of this guy. We got to break one way or another here. We're out of accumulation time. It's going to be yay or no, or yay or nay. Kind of holding this 412 area, and I'm looking at the 5 minute. You got the 8 period. You got a trend clean down below the 8 period all the way from about 8:45 this morning. Every candle has kind of touched it and rejected. Until now, we've got a 5 minute double bottom potential here. So if we close a hammer through the 8 period here, or something that gives us a signal of we could go long here, cool, we can go long. Otherwise, this gives us an accumulation zone and a breakover for a bearish 1-for-1 down to the bottom of liquidity here, down to about 410.90, maybe even reach a little bit below that. So this candle's got about 28 seconds left on it, so this is going to give us the clue here. We're at the end of that accumulation zone. Typically the last 10 seconds of a 5 minute candle tend to get exciting, so far it's looking like it's going to hold underneath that 8 period and give us a signal to go short. Yeah, there's a big old tootsie roll here. Watch for the bears, here they come. Back to the 1 minute chart and keep an eye on them boogers. They keep making threatening noises, but they're not quite following through yet. We know the critical support is now right about here. Apple is humming along this trend line, but it can break it here.
It's like,
Right? It's like, I don't care what the market does. I'm bullish because I liked my earnings call. And Apple does have that daily chart triple measured move here. We're hitting right into a key support area between the two boxes. Let me zoom out so you can see that. We got the first range for the lower part of the measured move. We accumulated, made a full 1-for-1, and now we're kind of accumulating right at a basing pattern between the two boxes. So if this continues, I've got a pretty good idea that Apple's going to hit about 192 pretty quickly. So if this, then that. It's got that chance, but you know, definitely not sitting here holding clouds of doubt over everything, but you always want to kind of question things like, okay, well, why would Apple go there? Is it fundamentally strong? Seems to be. They know how to make money. Issues with the supply chains are pretty much kind of fallen by the wayside now. The only thing that's kind of preventing Apple from doing much is any tensions with China. So if there's some good news coming out of the relations between the U.S. and China, well, Apple will do good. Most of their stuff is made in China, to the best of my knowledge. All right. Damn, dude, the bears threatened it. Look at this. I think this is the port where we get short. Let's see. Damn.
Bro, I'm telling you, that divergence ain't no joke.
Yeah,
Sold these tires.
this feels like
Maybe
a bear
that's
trap all of a sudden, doesn't it?
Yeah. I told you, bro, we were just going to chop in the morning, then we're going to rally for like the whole day.
Could be.
Imagine like yesterday, Friday.
Yeah, Friday was epic.
Yeah.
The thing is, Friday, like, I mean, it went full bullish 1-for-1. I mean, right from the gate, snap right to the bottom of liquidity and snap right up to the top of the shorter zone. It was like clockwork, but it made a beautiful bullish 1-for-1, right? The day before, we touched angular support of our diamond pattern. We broke it a little bit. Then we got loose and ran on up.
Hey, here we go. Here we go. I wonder if this makes another lower low on ES and fakes it again.
Right? Who knows? Either we rip down to the bottom of liquidity or we hold. Feels like a trap, but I think we're
I think we go lower. Maybe 41.35, that key level from before.
yeah, I think we're going lower too.
I don't know. The divergence is like punching me in the face and saying, nah.
Right?
Another part of me is like, ES doesn't have to follow like that. Like NQ could just sell off right here too. Like divergence isn't always 100% a winner. You know what I'm saying? Not everything works 100% of the time.
Right. I mean, we've got the 8 period under the 20. We've got price at a critical support. I mean, if it snaps here, it goes a quick dollar down. That's not a problem. That's 10 points on the ES. But, dude, it's still anybody's game. It's just not letting us get what we want either way.
Oh.
Damn, dude. Trap. Look at that. The spinner kind of gave us a clue, but we're like, maybe not. I don't know. Nope. Screw
That's
you.
crazy.
Right through regression.
I'm gonna be waiting for this 1 hour to close. That'll be telling me. That'll be my telltale.
I'm gonna go take out some trash here. Too many lines. It's looking like a Colombian coffee table party over here.
Yo, where's our girl Amy this morning?
I know, right?
Nah, 'cause you guys aren't all awesome. Nah, I'm just playing. Of course you guys are all awesome.
Just quiet.
Just
It's all good.
Hey, that's okay.
We got a lot going on anyway. This is kind of choppy as hell. It's just not really giving us a really clear signal other than this now definitely looks like a trap. Where's the
Divergence.
5 minute? Yeah. Like I said about that 8 period, we've been under at every bar since about 8:45. And now we're kind of hanging here. We've got this lower low, lower low. We're just kind of creeping around here. If we breach with any start of any candle after a touch to that 8 period, so if this is green close and we get a bar that opens just above it, we could reverse here, but it's like you don't want to get caught in the chop and be off sides when it does break. You'd rather trade the break.
Right.
1-for-1, 41.48 on target again. Damn. There we go. Rip it. So, I mean, you can swing all of this with futures, but with SPY, you kind of SOL until the break. And this is one of those things where it could be very well around 11:30 before we get the setup for options traders to come in and take over the day. I mean, you could certainly scalp this stuff with options on the open, but the implied volatility crush from candle 1 to candle 20 is huge. Like, even if you're on the right side of the trade, you could be losing money if you're trading 0 days or even a couple days out. I'd rather wait for something in the middle of the day where I can take a swing and not have to be stressed out about, whether I was wrong or not. And like I said, if I can find the pain zone and it collapses down to around $6 by about 11:30, between 11:30 and 12:30, I can just take a neutral position and trade the break and not give a damn what happens. Even if it goes sideways, I'm barely going to lose anything. Let's see here. When does my little
NQ trying to push lower. Now we'll probably continue lower. I don't know. We'll see. Let this close. Let something close.
my little favorite penny stock is announcing earnings on the 19th? It's next week. This thing has been a gold mine for options income.
Alright guys, I just posted a trade review in the journaling channel. If you want to go check it out, it's a ES trade review. I put my entry, my exit, my stop, my confirmations for my entry, VIX, NQ, ES, where were we rejecting on ES, where were we rejecting on NQ, my reason to go short, my exit, where my target was, why I exited sooner than my target, things like that. But it's a good little breakdown if anybody's interested in how I use the 3 markets to trade ES.
This thing's kind of fading
Damn,
a
here
bit.
we go. NQ's just going.
Yeah. 10 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. Let's see if it snaps that support zone or not. I'll zoom
No more
in.
divergence, NQ lower low.
That's a big old tall wick off that 5-minute candle.
Oh yeah.
Yep, we're breaking. See ya. Come the bears. Finally, damn it.
Yo, imagine a wick up. Yo, imagine this was the fake out too.
That could be. Could be. We're starting to flip orders here. I think the bears are going to take it. They'll take it to at least the next deviation, which is like 411.40.
Yeah.
That comes up right on our angular support here. By the time price gets there, 41.40, 41.45, 411.40, 411.45, sorry.
Oh no, NQ, don't go higher.
Choppy grinder, man.
Shoot, I tried a short on that.
Oh, careful here. Hold on.
Well.
Check out Apple.
Oh, is it going higher?
No, 50% retracement. Bop, done. Got away from me.
Wow, yeah,
I wasn't
look at
watching. Boom, bip. I can
I'm
spy,
curious
man.
there.
Just no direction now. We're just sideways. It's consuming options theta. That's what that does.
If we still had divergence here, I'd take a long, but we don't.
No.
Except that NQ is pushing higher, but nah, ES wants lower. Divergence, no more divergence.
I'm still watching for my strangle opportunity, but I'm not seeing it yet. It's just not materializing yet.
Give me another push up. Annoyed I stopped out of that short, but this is very wicky to the downside at the moment.
Yeah.
Low key want to take a long here, anticipating a bounce.
I'm gonna go finish doing the woodwork on my stairs. That's what I see in my afternoon future.
Funny.
I
VIX higher.
bought this house. It was a rental before I bought it, and most landlords, like, they tend to keep things on the cheap side when it comes to like maintenance and repairs.
Yeah.
So the handymen that were maintaining this place were they weren't the brightest peanuts in the turd, so to speak. Just stuff that they did just kind of annoys me because I'm no carpenter. I'm no like expert, handyman type of thing. But I'm very handy.
Right. You know what doesn't work, what does work.
I know better than to put paint on top of varnish without doing some sort of prep, because paint turns into goo when it sits on top of varnish, and it scratches easily. So if you make a handrail in that condition, everybody's going to be touching it. All of those little scratches are going to shine like the sun. So I pulled the handrail off last night and stripped it down to its bare wood, and then stained it with ebony. It looks really nice.
Yo, go lower. Go lower.
So now I got to take the rest of the hand railing off and do the same.
Steady volume coming in. Nah, I don't like NQ trying to push higher. Stop that. Hate that shit.
It's a grindy, slow process here, but I think we need to find our short-term liquidity zone. Let's just do that. We can use a 15-minute chart for that. There it is right there.
No. Okay, let's see. 20 seconds.
I'll use the green. Check out what I found. See that 15-minute wick right here from Friday? Guess what we touched?
Nice. Alright, big rejection. Right here.
That's why we hit it and bounced. That's a 15-minute demand zone. Look at there.
No, I got a bad feeling about this. I don't know.
And let's go throw a fan line on this. This is a challenging Monday to trade, guys.
Yeah, that's right. It's Monday.
We're all over the place with our analysis on short term, but like long term, we might be able to figure something out here.
There's a lot of countries on bank holidays again. We are.
Oh yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. No, don't pop.
Actually, if you're short here, you're gonna be off sides.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Wait for the break. So here we are getting into a zone here. We came into a demand zone. This is 15-minute demand. Supply's up here. This is a 2-hour supply zone up here.
NQ rejection.
So we're likely to at least make a break through resistance here and kind of trend up because we've tested demand and the buyers were there. All we gotta do is break this line. Here comes a 1-for-1. All right, we'll eventually figure this out. Look at this. We've got a division line here. Oh, come on, let me draw the damn thing. I'll just borrow one. Ah, lame. Alright, I gotta make a
Oh,
new
you're-
one. By the time I'm done with this, the move's over. There you go. Division line, 1 for 1, done right there, right? Now look at this extension, 2 for 1 coming right up. Look for 41240.
I reversed my order down there. So green, woohoo!
Blam, right through the zone. We can adjust this fan line up here, actually. That takes our revision
It's
line
another
right here.
pop.
Supply to demand, A to B. It only took me most of the morning to figure that out, huh? Well, when you get a choppy opening like that, and this is a really crummy trend, it's hard to figure out what the hell you're seeing until you look back and figure out, oh, hey, there's a demand zone.
Alright, made my lowest back. That's good.
All right. But I wasn't wrong about being offside short right here. And bam, that big bar came
Yeah.
out. Took you out.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. I guess that divergence trap was a trap. Remember when it broke lower for a second? I was like, oh, I don't see the divergence anymore.
Yeah.
That
We're
was the trap. That was the liquidity grab.
looking like a possible 2 for 1 on the 1 second chart. So we started at 41.42, accumulated to 41.45. We're at 41.47 now. Continuation for that would be 41.50. Watch for key support at 41.47. If it smokes that, it can go and retrace back to 41.45 again. But if it holds this and breaks another for a 2 for 1, then we'll get the resume move there up to 41.50. Right now, we're kind of printing a 1 minute Tootsie Roll here, and if we get this bar spinner bar out, that'll put us deep into the supply zone up here. So we could see a trend out of this. If this gives us a bar, a spinner, and then a evening star, it'll come right back down here to about 411.97, bottom of that bar. That 1 minute candle has 4 seconds left in it though, so it's likely to have another doji here. That's not good. We're coming back down.
And I was thinking the same thing. We ain't breaking any highs or anything. We might just make another little move down, but we might chop here. I don't know.
Well, there's a regression line right here, and that's just half the zone, or half the range. On our 5 second chart, there's a fan line right here for support. And if we smoke that, well, short term, we can scalp the move here to here. But if we accumulate here, we can get back get back in a bull trend and go for our 2 for 1 finally after retracement. So even though this started looking like an evening star, that failed the evening star. Now we're likely to accumulate right on the regression line, see? And Apple kind of comparatively, like, made that trend, broke it here, 50% retracement, done. Now we're getting a double bottom. Let me get AMD back up here. AMD printed a 1 for 1 right up to 91.20. Now we're testing that area for support, so we could continue to run on that.
Yeah, NQ wants higher. Definitely interesting. But we're in a weird situation right now. We're either going to pop or we're going to drop, but I don't think we chop.
AMD could see 91 again. Long tail wick on the 1 minute chart touched the 8 period here. I think we're going to finish the move. We're going to go to 412.35. Darby, another division line right here.
I'm holding a short here, but with a reversal position right at entry. So if we pop, I'm okay.
So I want to make a instructional video on how to set up these fan lines.
That'd be cool.
But realistically, it takes me like 10 seconds to explain it every day.
Yeah, sorry, we just keep asking you every day, Jeremy.
That's all right. The idea is simple. Like when you can identify where the trend markers are, like where your highs and lows are, you can lay these things out and figure out that typically you'll get divisions all day long, either in a bull trend, a bear trend, or even a sideways trend. So all you need to know is where the division lines are and how to add your divisions as time moves on. Because when you have the first two lines and they start to go away from each other in divergence, your price action gets wider and wider and wider. Well, if you can find the inflection point of where they tend to reverse, you can find the key support and key resistance in any time frame just by adding divisions. This looks like hell because I've deleted a bunch of it, trying to make room for drawing more lines. Once we get running up on TradingView, I'll be able to draw these a lot more efficiently and not have to worry about all this, because the drawing tool is very similar and almost as fast with TradingView as it is here with Webull. So when Webull was working good, I can draw very efficiently, very quickly. Same thing with TradingView. Let me borrow this line right here.
Vic's trying to push lower, but I don't know. ES getting weak.
So here's our accumulation point. This was the erroneous one. That, yeah, now it disappeared when I touch it. Go figure. Oh, it moved higher. So this is the fan we're working on now. So the idea is once you have any kind of accumulation, even within a trend, you can draw lines across key areas of resistance and support. Sometimes it can be back here, before the trend, after the trend, whatever. It doesn't matter where they converge. What matters is where you originate them, and that's where you get that accumulation. So in the 5-second chart, I developed the accumulation here. And once we identified where the key support and resistance were, and then we put the division lines in, aha, now we have a tendency to find which way the trend's likely to go. Now we've got the output side of this way down here. We can start at any route and put these division lines in, so we know where all the 1-for-1s are. Pretty easy, right? So we got 30-second candles. There's a 1-for-1 right here. There's a 1-for-1 between this support, this regression line, and the angular resistance. So 1-for-1 is real easy to find. The whole point of these lines is actually to use really short-term price action to determine your really quick scalps that are available on the futures chart.
Alright, out of longs. That was quite the trade.
Nice. That was the main reason I started drawing these, is to identify where the best futures trades would take place. You can draw these on a futures chart, but you'll notice that the volatility tends to be a lot higher. So it's, you know, if you think this is choppy on a SPY chart, move the decimal place over, and suddenly you've got a hell of a lot more chop. So on a futures chart, this is very hard to identify, but on a 5-second SPY chart, it's clean. You get really nice ability to find these 1-for-1s.
Yeah, we're at VWAP, be careful.
And there's a supply zone right here. We went right to it.
Yep. This is the supply zone I shorted this morning for a 5-point move.
Nice.
We break it.
We could. If we start to trend into the supply zone, it'll start hitting all those division lines I put in earlier of this entire zone. It'll probably run right from one to the other, accumulate until it runs out of gas. And it can run out at any one of these points, but you can trade within this zone. And sometimes you'll get a trend day where it goes all the way from A to B. It goes from the bottom to the top. We've done this many times over with all of our previous zones. We've known that usually when it breaches into a zone, it'll hit the halfway point or finish it. And here we had an after hours push from bottom to top, opened right just above the bottom or the top of the lower line, and it went from here all the way to the next supply zone, and then created a 1-for-1 out of that. So once you identify that stuff, it's really easy to trade from A to B. Once you have your price targets in place, you know where to start and where to finish. As far as time frames for these fan lines, I've found that they tend to not work as efficiently above a 5-minute chart, but you can still draw them. You can still find them on a 15 and 30-minute chart, but you don't get carryover, so you don't see any relevance from the 1 and 5-minute chart in the 30-minute and 15-minute chart. There really just isn't much there. Doesn't mean you can't draw them, because you can figure out, okay, well, there's an angular here, there's an angular here, divergence will find price right in the middle somewhere. So you can draw them on later time frames for swing trading, but they're not as efficient as it is to set up supply-demand zones, pivot zones, and all that stuff. And also even identifying the bigger patterns, like this massive diamond pattern we've been in. So time frame is going to dictate how you draw these lines. They're very, very, very useful on a 5-second chart, and even a 30-second and a 1-minute and a 5-minute chart. But outside of that, they're not quite as useful, because if you're going to try and swing trade fan lines on, like, say, a 2-hour chart, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a hard time catching the proper setups. When, if you have a diamond on board and you see the diamond where you got range expansion followed by range contraction, you can find all of those. Those are easy. So the idea with any kind of drawing on your chart at all is the purpose of making your trading easier, right? So that's the whole point. If you find the easy setups and you find the easy trades, you don't have to stress about being wrong all the time. You can go and find what is usually going to be right and trade it in the manner of if I'm having a good time finding the accuracy of this setup, I know I can trade it very well. It's developing you into the pattern. So all it is a tool. You're the programmer, you're running the program, if this then that. Once you find the easy setups, you trade your plan. And if your plan goes against you, you have a backup plan in place to exit that trade and take a small loss and cut that loss quickly if the plan fails. That's your fail-safe. But if it continues to run from one target to the other, if you're right and you stick with it, and as long as it keeps trending in that direction, you'll make a great trade.
Hey, my bad.
Oh boy. So now we're in the demand zone. We've identified the supply zone. We know where this big, huge demand zone is. And it's just a liquidity box. And like we say, if we start to eat through it, all of this can be yours in a trend. And if you're going to trade this long here, I wouldn't trade it long here. I'd wait for this to breach resistance and continue in a trend. And then just essentially ride that trend until it ends.
Because the trend is the friend.
And just knowing that whole zone gives you a great trade idea. As G.I. Joe would say, knowing is half the battle.
Morning.
Morning. Hey, there she is.
Hey, good morning. We were
Yeah, I had a
wondering where
long
you were.
night. My second mare decided she was gonna bowl last night or pretend like she was. So for 2 hours she was pretty heavy duty labor, and then she just stopped. She's like, no, not tonight. So we were there till about 4 a.m. before we said, okay, this isn't happening.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's been a long night.
Oh, animals.
I'm hoping she gives up the ghost sometime today, so at least I get to meet my new baby before we leave
There you
tomorrow.
go.
So I'm trading on fumes.
Half your brain tied behind your back up in there.
Yeah, I just want to scalp a little bit and be out of it.
Sometimes I trade better when I'm overly tired. It's
Yeah,
weird.
you're super focused. Yeah.
Well, it's just that all the noise in my brain's asleep, and I'm just focusing on one thing at a time. So it's like, oh, that's easy.
Could be true.
I have a very boring personality when I don't sleep well, but boy, sometimes I do really well trading if I just focus on it. So we're threatening a trend here. Holding the 8
Yeah.
period on a 1 minute. We've got that entire liquidity zone from the 2-hour chart. This could be our trend. If not, we will range between these two zones. So if this fails and it breaks down out of this demand or out of the supply zone, we know where the demand zone is. We can chop sideways this entire day, and instead of being a trend day, we get a range day. We'll be in that range.
Which wouldn't be a surprise because we got news. What is it, Wednesday? CPI or something like that?
Oh, something like that. Yeah, Wednesday I think it is.
Amy, did you have a nice Cinco de Mayo?
Man.
Aw.
Cinco de Mayo. When was that? Friday?
Yeah. Busy
I had-
weekend?
I had a girlfriend from high school, from actually elementary school. She has a 9-year-old daughter who's doing cheer, and they had cheer finals here in Virginia Beach. So I was in the midst of about 1,000 little girls with lots of sparkles.
Oh no.
Yeah, lots of sparkles. And yeah, it was interesting. So I spent the night on the beach Saturday night, which was cool. It was a beautiful moon. We went to a nice Italian restaurant, drank a lot of fancy drinks. So
That's good.
I celebrated Cinco de Mayo in an Italian joint.
There you go.
I'm going to Mexico this week though, so I'm gonna make up for it.
There you go.
How about you guys? Did you do anything? Well, you had a big party.
Yeah.
Block party, didn't you?
The block party was awesome.
Yeah.
It was 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila dance floor.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome. Had a great time. Oh, and lots of good food too. Smoked pork tacos, and my daughter makes some of the best guacamole around.
Nice.
So we had her guacamole with some chips, threw some on the tacos, and all the other fixins for a great taco night.
My poor husband had a weigh-in this morning. He's on vacation, but he had to go in to get his, annual whatever. They measure your body fat and stuff. He passed, but he didn't eat anything yesterday at all. He was starving himself. Oh man.
Like, who are you kidding? The
He
doctor?
stayed up all night. It was really rough.
Yeah.
So we had breakfast this morning. We had breakfast together before. He's doing laundry for me and packing.
Ah, there you go. What a guy.
Yep. He's happy to do laundry rather than go to work.
Hey, man, I'd sit around and do laundry too.
Right.
The less,
I'm sure he's making himself some mimosas or some other fun something while he's doing it.
there you go.
He knows how to make work fun.
I got to go for
You
a.
do. If you don't mind me asking,
What's that?
what's he do for work?
Oh, he's in the military, Navy diver.
Gosh,
He's
I was
a
gonna
Navy
guess.
diver.
I was gonna guess cop because you said about him passing for his physical, but
Yeah,
Go.
army makes sense too.
Navy.
You know, if he wants
Maybe
an
my apologies.
easy-
Yeah, they are
Military,
not.
anything in the
They're
military.
not Army.
That's what I meant, military. Yeah,
How
Navy.
dare you?
Yeah.
if he wants to get a nice
That's a dirty
cushy
word.
job outside the Navy, if he gets his welding certificate for underwater welding, oh man,
He already has it.
those guys get paid. Woo!
Yeah, I'm encouraging him to do his 20. He's about 3/4 of the way there, and he's only 38.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
like, dude, there's no other job that you're gonna switch into right now that's gonna give you A, any retirement,
No,
and B, that much for that long. So
my
you just gotta suck it up, Buttercup, as far as I'm concerned.
my oldest son just got a fire lit under him to get his driver's license. He hasn't gotten his driver's license yet. He just turned 18. Like, dude,
Oh
come on.
wow. Dude, I like my birthday on the 22nd of November, 19 whatever it was, 89, 80, 86. I was taking my driver's license.
Yeah.
Next day I was on the road.
Well, he got a little side gig doing. He was a server at a wedding for a catering company out in Keswick on Saturday, and it's like 2.5 times what he's making at his current day job per hour. I'm like, dude, if you have your license, you could do this every weekend. you know?
All of a sudden the light bulbs go
Uh huh.
off. Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, because he wants to save for a muscle car and he wants to do a
Yeah, of
car
course.
restoration stuff like every other teenage boy who's a gearhead. Well, he's a
Cool.
kid of mine, so he's automatically a gearhead.
Right. He has that bent.
And I told him, like, okay, you save up for that car, we can do that, no problem. But you're gonna have to work hard to get there. And I told him in the meantime, get yourself a beater, get your license, and you can go and find more money when you have a car, because
Yep.
you don't have to be, in a short market for your surrounding area for little day jobs. You can go and do stuff that's really worth doing.
Yep.
And that was,
Spread your wings, little bird.
that's it. I told him,
Alright,
at your current job, it's going to take you about a year to save up for that car. But if you do enough of these side gigs, or heck, if the side gig becomes a permanent thing where you're doing it 40 hours a week, you could buy that car in 4 months.
That carrot gets awful close.
Yep.
alright, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Good trading today.
You too,
See you
man.
later.
Sorry you came late. I missed you this morning. I was
Yeah.
asking. I said, "Where's our Amy today?"
I'm
know.
sorry. I'm sorry. And you probably won't hear from me the rest of the week. I'll just post pictures.
There you go.
All right. At least you post some pictures. That's fine with me.
That wasn't the
I'll
greatest
share
trade.
what I'm spending all my money that I've traded making. I'll share what.
There you go.
That's what motivates me. It's like I wanna enjoy life.
There you go.
Good. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow.
You
See
too,
you
man. See you
later.
tomorrow. And it wasn't the greatest trading today, but we identified a couple 1-for-1s. And once we knew where that supply zone was, it was like, aha, cool, we get a 1-for-1. So
I caught the short because I even blind pig and I can find an acorn once in a while. Because I took the short. Well, I held short from Friday. MES and
daring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one MES. It's like an options trade. So how far
Yeah.
can it go against you? 100 points. What is that?
True.
$500. So that's like worst case scenario. And if it did that, I would triple down on that.
What?
So you're gonna have an explosive move up,
Right.
gap up like that. That's just more reason to short it, at least some. So I will do that when we have big runs, especially on Friday. I will try to work my way into a nice short position and hold it just in an MES 1, 2, maximum 3 on tracks I've done. They've always worked out well. I've never gotten burnt on those.
Hey, it's good enough. That's all it needs to be sometimes.
Well, you have there's no options decay with the futures. So you just hold it. And like I said, what's the chances of us running up 50 or 100 points against you in a weekend over up in this market? Now there's other times when that's not the case, but when we've had a really parabolic move on Friday, it was a real good push up. So
Likely
it
to
made
pull
sense.
back.
Now we're not getting a huge pullback, but it was enough for me to put a couple $100 in the bank this morning. So
There you go. Don't complain.
yeah. I think I'm going to trade a little NQ is what I'm going to do because this is really slow action.
Yeah, it's a bit slow. We're starting to grind, but we are up in that supply zone, which can easily turn into a liquidity box and run all the way up to the top of it. Right now, I just noticed that the pain zone for 0 days just fell to $8. So the bottom is the put side is at 408, and the top call side is at 416. That's $8 wide. So I'm looking for those contracts that are like, out of the money, but they're like 3 to 4 cents per contract, and that's about where the 4-cent mark comes, 416 and 408. So if you wanted to try and run a strangle today, it's feasible, although this is much more likely to be a range day between these two ranges if it does break out and you're on the right side of it, you can kill it. So you can go that route in a small account. If you're bound by PDT, you can run those and then convert the winning side into a debit spread that locks in a credit. And it's like having a free lottery ticket that get paid for. So as long as you at least cover the loss on the losing side by doing that conversion, do it anyway. If it doesn't quite breach that to be able to lock in profit for the day, at least your account won't lose anything for that day. So it's just a neat little strategy I've been perfecting, and when it hits that threshold $8 wide, it's like kind of okay, we can build it here, or we can wait for 6 if you really think it's going to go sideways from here for another hour or so. You can run the $6 wide and be okay too. Those are more likely to lock in profit by the end of the day overall, but the $8 wide gives you a chance at making a pretty serious return in a small account without risking much. And at least you can always lock it into a break even as well. So kind of leaves the options open to where if you're going to be trading 0 days from day to day in a small account, that gives you the opportunity to literally day trade without day trading. It's kind of cool. With that, I think I'm going to kind of roll off here. It's not going to be too exciting.
Okay. I think I'm gonna head out myself.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on the market and
I'm kind of thinking for what they want to reset an account, it'd be smarter just to start a new one for the same amount with more days in it by the end of the period, right?
well, I mean, you if you're gonna reset, you want to reset right away, and you want to
Right.
make sure. So you bought, but buying a new one, they're not having their sale anymore, right?
Right. Well, what I mean is like,
And today is the last day of half
Do-
price reset, so it's only $50 to reset.
but do they reset it automatically if you just leave it going for the month to month?
No,
So they don't reset the original eval account.
no. You would still have to pay for a reset, and it'll be at the regular price,
Gotcha.
which is like twice that. I don't know, $80. So what you want right now is to reset it right away, so you still have 7 days, your minimum of 7 days to trade, and hopefully get it funded before you get charged another month. But even if you get charged another month, you're at only what, $36 a month.
Right.
So I would not buy a new account, and I would not wait another day, because I think it's only good through today, that half price reset. So
Gotcha.
get on it. And then, if you don't want to trade much today, just take one MES trade for one tick, so it counts as a day of trading. Then you only have 6 more, and just, because
Yeah.
you picked that up, what, last Monday or Tuesday?
It was not last Friday, or the Friday before last Friday.
So your first day of trading was the 28th or something like that? Yeah, 28th.
Technically, yeah.
So they'll charge you on the 20, probably, I guess the 28th.
Yeah, it'd be the 28th of this month, so.
So you have, if you reset today, you have today 5, 10, 15. So you've got 15 full trading days. I
Right.
would reset it right now and just, even if I'm not going to actively trade one, I will take one little trade, one MES, doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. I'm not trying to make any money. I'm just going to tick off one trade. So I count that as my minimum number of days. Even if I do that for 6 days and then I actually trade it, on a good day or whatever, and pass it in one fell swoop,
Right.
I've got my 6 days minimum. Ironclad was asking me this morning, he's like, why am I not funded? First of all, read the damn rules.
Yeah. You gotta
gotta
have
trade 7
traded at
days.
least 7 days.
So it does real good to try and hit the target all in
Right.
one. Don't do that, because then you're why risk anything? But because I divide it up, whatever my target is, I divide it by, usually I give myself 10 days. And if I have a good day, that just means I'm ahead, And if I get there before the 7 days, then all I have to do is take that extra, one
Right.
tick MES. I've got several that are funded that I just have to trade 3 more days positive or negative doesn't matter, and then I'm funded.
Well,
So I don't risk those at all. I just,
what annoys me most is like I was within just under $1,100 from my target
yeah,
by the second day.
that's
and
why
then
you want to keep,
I
well,
made that
you
mistake on the third day where I left the stupid trailing
yeah,
stop open on the ES and then switched to the MES to
and
scale.
you set it so that it, like in the beginning, what I did was I set mine up so that it protected my profits and would cut me, like every time I hit a new high, I would set, because I can go into Rhythmic. So you guys are using
Yeah, trade of 8.
Random data. So, but there should be a way for you to set uh, a liquidate when you hit a certain target, right?
Right.
So that you stop at your high.
Yeah.
And then you have to go, okay, I need to reset, because it's not, I mean, it's good practice to know at all times how much cash you have in the bank, right? You should never
Right.
trade your cash account really any different. You should try to get out at your maximum profit all the time. That's good practice. It's not what real traders do, but it's when you're learning or when you're, it's just good habit to take profits frequently.
Of course. So the thing is, like, the reason I chose the trade of 8 version of it is that I know how to use trade of 8 very well.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that was great about trade of 8 is if you went and switched products like that, you would be able to be knowledgeable that you had a different position on, because it would show you on a little
Yeah.
graph on the top right of the screen. It would say day
So your
margin and
profits
initial
are
margin,
different. Yeah.
and
I
you
know.
would be
I
lit
messed
up.
up.
But on the eval account, that doesn't light up at all. Doesn't tell you have a position on or
It
anything.
has to be a way, it's probably a setting. It probably has something to do because it's similar in our trader with Rhythmic. When I'm logged in with my Apex account, it's
I know it's
different
a
than
little
my
different,
Lulu
but
account. And it's just a setting that I have to change. And it's just a matter of being cognizant of I'm trading my eval account, so I've got to keep track of
right.
my trades. I can also do it in my platform. I keep it open so that I can see, how many ticks I'm up at all times. But that's also a good reason to set your goal for the day and not exceed it, because then you're ending at your P&L high every day, which is what you have to do to pass these things. Because that
Right.
trailing drawdown is just, it is what it is. It's what they do. And it's really supposed to be there partly a gotcha, but it's also like if you're new to it, don't let a winning trade turn around and go against you.
Oh no.
Take
I
those
mean,
profits.
usually I'm in and out, but I'm like sometimes it'll have a
Well,
couple
everybody
ticks
does a
back,
fat
but
finger and leave yeah.
sure.
That's another rule number 1: hit flat and cancel
Right.
before you move on.
And that's the thing. I
We've all
I
done
exited that trade. I was trying to get
Yep.
into the MES as quick as possible, and I totally
Yep.
forgot to hit the cancel all
Yep.
button.
And that
And then
everybody does that
the
sooner or later.
the other part of that is I've done that before in my personal account, and I knew about it because I knew about it right away because of the margin,
You could
day
see
margin, initial margin. I could see it was lit up. I was like, oh wait,
right.
there's a position on here. What's going on?
And because
So
it's a paper account, it's not showing you that.
right. So it's like
Yep.
I'm just kind of blown away by that. I'm like, damn, dude, if I would have known I had that position on, I certainly would have closed it and been
Sure.
okay. And then at the very worst, like in my personal account, I mean, I don't have a trailing drawdown on my personal account. So it's like if I would have made that mistake, it doesn't
Yeah.
take long for me to recover from a mistake like that
Right.
in my
Right.
own account. Whereas if they have a trailing drawdown on your eval account, it's like you don't get that chance to recover. So it's like now you
Yeah.
just got to start over from square one. It pisses me off to the point where I'm just
Yeah.
like, hell with this. I'll fund my own damn account, Ugh.
Yes, and I went back and forth from doing that too, because in the beginning I failed quite a few of them for that very reason. I just wasn't I didn't orient myself properly for their game,
Right.
right? And so, but once I got it, I mean, it's like taking candy from a baby, and it's really nice trading somebody else's money for
Oh, sure.
$30 a month or whatever. Even I've got probably 5 more. They've maxed out at 20, so I can't have more than 20 funded accounts.
Right.
In that Apex, I can have that many in the Lilu, so I can basically double that. And when they run those sales, I pick just a bunch of them up, and I will do the
Those
YOLO
retracement.
and get one funded, and then the other one, if I don't blow it, I'll nurse it along and just keep trading it. I don't care if it takes 4 months, because if I got it on sale and I'm paying $30 a month or what do I care if it takes me 6 months to get $3,000 from them? I
Right.
don't, so
Well,
that's the way I look at it. But I can copy all of those, so it's a little different if it's just one at a time, because uh, you're taking your best trades on the eval account, or you're not trading your cash account. But if you don't have your cash account set up right now anyway, do this.
true.
Or if there's somebody that's learning, this is a great,
Well,
very
that's
low risk way to still learn. And if you're successful, make money. Whereas, plain old sim trading, you can never, you can't buy a
sure.
sim car or a sim
No.
house or sim boat.
Well, I mean,
Suppose you can, maybe in the metaverse.
I did stick a little bit in an Optimus account, and I've been doing fine with that. But it's just I'm slowly building that account. I'm just kind of nursing it
Yep.
along. But I figured by the time I've spent money on an eval account, like I could be making money in that account, and I had been today. And I'm just kind of
Do a
like,
little bit of both. Like I'll trade my cash account and I'll trade it. I'll either scalp it when it's just a really good setup. Because I can flip over. I can have multiple accounts open at the same time with different DOMs.
right,
So it's literally a different color. I change the color background so I know which one I'm trading without having to think about it. I just go to my blue and I'm like, okay, this is cash, and I'll take, if usually it's ES, and I'll just scalp 10, 20, 50 ticks, whatever, and be like, okay, that's enough for the day. Because that's the money that I can take out anytime I want. The
right,
funded accounts, since I have it spread so horizontally, I have to build those up over the course of months before I can withdraw, because I have to leave some in there to trade with.
right.
And they have a minimum of $1,000 withdraw at any time. So I need at least 3,000 across all of those accounts to take 1,000 out, so that I can leave 2 in there to trade, or 1,500 and 1,500 or whatever. But you multiply that times 10, that's 15,000 I'm taking out in any given month.
And
I can wait for that. In the meantime, I trade my cash account, and if I need to take out $1,000 every 2 weeks or whatever to pay for my margaritas.
and then in the meantime, I had been setting up a TOS account, and I'm kind of I'm thinking about just putting that back into my damn Robinhood account because it seems to do a lot better there anyway. But I was looking at putting it into a TOS account so I could use that as a display account, and that was before we decided, hey, we're going TradingView.
The trading view
So
will be nice when you do that, and you can trade that
yeah,
with some live money.
so I'm working with that, and I'm just like, well, I can stick that bulk back into a futures account and do just fine with that instead. And
Mhm.
it would be my own funded account. So it's like I'm still on the fence on whether I want to continue trying to mess with these
If you
eval
want
accounts
to, I
or
mean, the truth is that 50,000 quote unquote account is really only 3,000.
right,
But in a $3,000 cash account, you can't trade 10 or 12 MES,
right,
or what, 1,000, I'm sorry, 10 or 12 ES, which is what you get. So you get a lot more leverage,
right,
and there's no limit to how much you can make in it, where you are limited in your cash account with what your broker gives you. So yeah, you've got a trailing drawdown, but you also have a lot more leverage. So if you're a good trader, you can do a lot more size with almost no risk. So there are pros and cons either way.
gotcha.
But go reset that thing. Just do it. Don't think about it. It's $50.
Yeah, I
Roll the
know.
dice, baby.
Just that I've been so successful with the other side of it that I was like, well, if I fund my own account, I don't have to worry about any of this bullshit. So it's like I'm still teetering on it. I don't know.
Pull the cord. Just do it.
Rip the band-aid off. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's $50.
True enough.
Go beat them at their own game. That's the way I look at it.
All right, give me 1 second to assess my chart here because I'm going to sign off the feed here for a minute, or in a minute. I marked out this little support zone here. It's just outside of our liquidity zone, but it happens to be about half of this trend, so it's like right in the 50% retracement zone. And it just kind of lined up with these two guys here. So if we snap this, we can certainly go back to our original regression and have a SPY target about 412. If we hold this, and we hold it one more time, we can resume a trend here. So this is kind of a tipping point. It's the middle of the day. Looking at that that spread for the condors on, or the not condor, the strangle on a 0-day, it's right at 7 now. So it came down from 8. We're looking at a point in the day where it'll be about 6 here in a few minutes. If we end up with a range day, you don't want to mess with those. But if we end up with a trend day, or if we bounce out of this and start to accumulate into a 1-for-1, where we get this move down below our support line, takes us down here to about 410 on extension, we could still trade those. But if we're just going to stay in range, you're going to know by about 12:30 if it's likely to stay in range. Plus we have news coming out this Wednesday. It's actually kind of pointing towards it could very well be just a range day. So kind of up to you if you want to mess with the strangle on that. But looking at options, we're pretty much running out of range to trade options on SPY at the moment. For 0 days, that is. But if you want to try and build a condor today and you get a range day, that's where you can get that benefit of the midday drop in implied volatility, and look for like Thursday or Friday expiration to trade through that that news is coming out on Wednesday. So you could build a condor with profit locked in the middle of it with that kind of expiration and be able to build it in a range day very efficiently. So that's another opportunity as well. So it depends on, it's not going to depend on how or what you trade. It's going to depend on how you trade it at this point. So this is one of those options days where you're going to be kind of, okay, do I do this? Do I do that? Or do I run with a direct equity? Well, I have a long position in AMD that's doing very well right now. Built that through last week and a little bit into this week. Day traded it and swing traded it. And now we're kind of looking like the trend's continuing. 2 hour on AMD, we got resistance up here at about 95, so we could hit that today. Being that it's made a 2-for-1 measured move by the time it hits 93.50 though, I might be a little skeptical on that trend continuing to 95 today. So we'll see what happens when it gets to that limit. And I've already got some profit locked into that swing, so I can see it through or I can decide to pull it off. Either way, it's rolling. As far as trend day trades go, this is what you want, but you'll not always get this with SPY. Sometimes you'll get a range day and it just accumulates all day long, and this has been choppy and hard to trade anyway. So up to you what you want to do on that, but options trades, I think equities are going to be the better way to go for today and tomorrow. Wednesday we're going to have some volatility though, so I'm going to probably take everything apart on my individual equity trades by about the end of tomorrow. And then I will start maybe looking into building a condor on SPY that expires Friday and work with that instead. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us on both our YouTube channel and our Discord channel for our stream. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening.
See ya. We want to be